Oh, wait, we blew our guest. I forgot to push the button. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Hopefully, everyone is doing great. What day is today? Today is Monday. Today is the day before Mardi Gras. That's right. We're having our 13 days of Mardi Gras. We are almost here. Hello from rainy Tennessee. Yes, we got rain here all night last night and this morning. How is everybody doing? Hello, Lizzie. Hello, Ren. Everybody, thank you for joining us. We've got our Caesar cutter in front of us. This right here is the Romeo, the big Romeo, the 24 inches. That's right. 24 inches of Epson is behind me, too. We've got a lot of things going on here at Condi. Go ahead, call your rep, 1-800-826-6332. See what is going on. Yes, I don't. Mardi Gras. Well, we'll ask Stephanie. She can tell us all about Mardi Gras, everything that's going on, what everything means. But call your reps. 1-800-826-6332. And see what deals, steals, and bargains we got going on. We got clearance going on. We got lots of great things. Now's the time to get a heat press. Upstate New York, I just saw that you guys are going to get some snow or something. That is crazy. Yes, we're back at it today. And without any further ado, you know her, you love her. We've got Stephanie says, how are you doing from Caesar?
I am wonderful today, and I am so ready. So, of course, we all know I'm in Tennessee, and we don't have Mardi Gras, but at heart, I am a Mardi Gras gal and love Mobile and love New Orleans both. We know where it originated. Everybody else just kind of pretends, but we know that it was Mobile.
And we know who does it better.
We know and quainter and a little quieter and a little more homey feeling, which I like. And, I was a little disappointed, Bo, because you know how much I love beignets from Mo Beignets. I kind of thought you might have sent me a package. It hasn't got here yet, but, I'm sure you meant to, right?
For sure. It's on its way.
So you can tell, we were talking earlier, my shirt is not real beads. It is holographic, and we have embroidery with the fleur-de-lis. And I love it because, first of all, if this was rhinestones, it would be very heavy. And who wants that? You don't want to scratch. I love rhinestones for some things. And then you can tell the fleur-de-lis has 3 different colors of holographic HTV. And so that way it is a lightweight bling. And this was made for me last year from one of our viewers. It's on here right now. Miss Jill made this for me, and so I proudly wore it today. I have made a couple similar after she and I had kind of come up with different ideas, but I love this design. I love the fleur-de-lis. Bo and I were talking. So the fleur-de-lis has many kind of meanings. You can tell I love the fleur-de-lis. I have a gold one behind me. I didn't buy it just for this. I actually owned it beforehand because I love some of the meanings. So for you that are watching, tell me some of the things that you think the fleur-de-lis represents, what it stands for. And then Bo and I will talk about that a little bit. And
Stephanie, I am just noticing that you have like I don't know what that thing is up there. It looks like something you put Q-tips in, but it's larger. But you have your green, your purple, and your gold in there of all sorts of Caesar material. I love that.
Thank you. So this is actually a punch container. And I fill it with different things and use it all the time because, you use it once a year, maybe for punch. So I've just made it an accessory in my craft room and decoration. Right now, I'll even turn it. There are some clear ornaments in there. So I kind of fill it with different things. So with that way,
I can see the spigot on it now. Kind of like it reminds me of a barbershop type thing or something like that.
So again, one of those New Orleans kind of drinks. What do you usually see in a spigot with? It's kind of a licorice flavored liqueur. Trying to think the name of it.
You have me
Green Fairy.
You have me completely stumped on that one. I would.
It's Green Fairy.
We're talking that sort of thing. So the Everclear.
It would be absinthe, and so you would have that with your water to do the sugar cube. See,
Huh.
the things that people find out when they're watching us, Bo, you never know what you and I will come up with. So in the background, I have a couple things that I've made, and we're going to talk about some of those. And we all know I love a couple things. I love my flamingo, so my flamingo is present. And my shirt says it's Mardi Gras, y'all, with a flamingo on that also. So some of the things that you'll notice here, that this is printed, but it's on a cotton t-shirt. So how did I sub and what did I do to create that? So this is one of my favorite things to do, and I've done it on several things, sublimation onto a Siser product. So you can sublimate on several of our products. This one happens to be glow in the dark. So it looks great to be able to wear that for Mardi Gras because my image will glow at night. So you can sublimate on glow in the dark, on glitter, and everybody always says white glitter. You can actually sublimate on several colors. It just depends on how vibrant your ink is, what your design is. Obviously black glitter, no, because you can't see the ink. But I have done silver. My favorite is lemon sugar right now because I love rubber ducks. So I like the ducks on lemon sugar and on rainbow white. But
I like
colors.
I like the coral. Do you guys still have the coral glitter?
We do. And I just did some seahorses with that for a project that I'm working on. So I love sublimating and I love using the glitter to make those colors pop. So I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to use my cutter today, but I'm going to kind of talk through the process of it. So I'm going to move some things around and kind of show, and speaking of rubber ducks, I'm going to change my camera setting and let you see a different image here. So that way you can follow along with me. So this was created in Leonardo. And what I love about print and cut, it will give me my registration marks. So this is sublimation paper from my sublimation printer. And so many people ask, why do I cut this? Because usually you just flip it over and press. Well, the reason is because I'm going to actually put it on the shape of a duck. So if I had this full piece of paper, it's really hard to try to see and to line that up. So I cut not only my glitter in my shape, but I cut my duck also. So there you can see I had already cut that with that print and cut. Now I have the shape of my duck and I have my glitter. So that way I'm going to show you how easy it is to line those things up and press it. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. And so here is my duck. The first thing that I want to do is to take it off of its carrier sheet. So I'm just going to pull this off the carrier sheet. And like so. Then I'm going to get my cute little duck and line it up. So I'm going to get another one here. So here's my duck, and you can see this is why I cut it, so that I can line those up perfectly. So you can see I'm lining them up. To press it, what I use is a non-stick cover sheet, and you're going to see I wrote the word sub in the corner. Maybe you can see that. I only use this one for this process. So I take my non-stick cover. I'm going to line these up, and then I can even use just a little piece of my heat tape to hold that in. And then I'm going to take it to my press, and we are going to press it for 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So I'm going to swap over real quick just so you can see me throwing it to my press. So now I have, and I'm going to press. And the reason that I'm doing this on my nonstick is because I'm going to save it to put it onto a shirt. And I'm going to talk about both processes and show you both processes while we're doing this. So I'm going to take these ducks and cut them apart, get them ready for my next project to show you. So I'm going to take him off the cover sheet, the carrier sheet also. And we can talk about, there's different ways that you can do this. But again,
hey, Stephanie, what material is your non-stick cover? Is it silicone or Teflon?
It's the T word that I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah.
They love their trademark, so I just keep saying non-stick cover. It will work on either. This one I use over and over. And why? That way, if the ink gets on one of them, I'm not ruining it. So when it comes off, it's going to look just like this. It's stuck on there. And I am going to peel this off while it's still warm. That way it's sticking here. And then, since it is on that non-stick cover sheet, and this is really hot, so I'm going to let it cool. I'll peel it off of this once it cools down. And then I'll have it ready, just like this one, to be able to press onto a shirt. So it's like a pre-made, and then you could send it to somebody and they can press it at normal temperature of 305 for 10 seconds to adhere that. So this is an easy way to turn this and this together. So hope now that it's cooled down, you can see me just kind of pull this off. There we go. So that is one way that you can do glitter with your sublimation. So again, you saw that I had another duck, and it looks like this. He's just a little white duck.
Hey, Stephanie, that yellow was crazy vibrant on that.
I know, isn't it? And I also have pressed it quite a few times on the lemon sugar, and I love it on the lemon sugar. And believe it or not, it's not as vibrant on lemon sugar as it is on white.
Was that the regular white or rainbow white?
Rainbow white. I love rainbow white, and I keep scraps of it for just like this kind of a project, because you never know. It doesn't take a lot. So here I'm folding my shirt in half just because I want to get a little center line so that I can show you.
So I did that trick here when I first started here at Condi, and I got made fun of.
Well, I don't mind being made fun of. Doesn't bother me a bit, because when you're on camera, you know, all of our lights are up here, right? Down here where my heat press is dark.
And I don't mind being made fun of as long as my stuff's in the center of the shirt every time.
Yeah, I don't even mind. So I don't mind. So I'm going to line my little ducky up, and I'm going to just do a quick press, just a few seconds, just so it tacks down to my shirt so that I can show you what I'm doing. So here we have white duck on black shirt. So I have several pieces and colors that I have printed beforehand. So here's just a sheet, and these, you know, just sublimation paper. And I love, you know, when you do a design and you have this kind of vinyl left over, right? People trash it. I don't. Look, that's the perfect. I just made a little template. That way I could change the color of that. So we have two different patterns here that we could choose from. I have kind of we know that glitter is super popular, and they have faux glitter. So I have two different ones. Bo, which one do you like? This one or this one?
Well, I feel like you like the first one because that was a trick question.
No, it's not. You can pick.
Yeah, I like the first one. The one on, yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. So you can tell, just a piece of paper. All I'm going to do is fully cover the duck under my heat press. And then I'm going to cover that not with nonstick. I'm going to cover it with either type copy paper or butcher paper, whatever's handy. I have craft butcher paper right here, and I'm covering it up. I never use a nonstick cover when I'm doing my sublimation. A couple of reasons. Reason number one is because if you have any ghosting, it will stick to this nonstick. You know, you'll have some excess ink, and then the next time you go to press something like this, it'll show up. And so like a ghost out of the night, it will kind of surprise you and ruin a project. So that's one reason I don't use it. The second reason I don't use it is because we're doing high temperature for a longer amount of time, and it can cause it to sweat and to get moisture, and those little droplets can actually show up in your ink and have little water droplets, I've found. And I'm sure there's 15 other reasons, but those are the two that I use the most of why I don't use a nonstick. So now we are done. So, and you can kind of see there's an image here. So if I would have used that nonstick, that would have stuck to it, and then it could have transferred later. So here's my shirt. And the reason that I can do this is because a couple things. This is a black cotton shirt. So even though this ink will get around it, when I wash the shirt, that ink will disappear because none of that ink will marry into that cotton fabric. So that's why that works. So now look, I have a Mardi Gras duck. Look at the shimmer. I'm going to put this one under the light so that you can see the different camera angle, how beautiful that color is. Love that. I love that. So see how that really does sparkle, really does shine. And it really matters, you know, kind of where you put the piece of paper, because if I pressed another one, it could look totally different than that one. Hey, Bo, I'll send this one up to you. You now have a Mardi Gras duck.
Awesome, awesome. Do the ducks have something to do with Mardi Gras?
No, they don't. I just personally, I know this is kind of strange. I personally love rubber ducks. I love cruising, you know. And so you hide these ducks on the boat with a little name tag, and then people take pictures of them and post them. So I have just got off a cruise. I'm working and planning. We have a crafting cruise coming up, and it is everything Siser and crafting. Reen, myself, and Amy from Amy Sews will be going, and beautiful time. So I have ducks on the brain.
So the ducks are kind of like one of those rocks that you find and then you hide and then you write a story. Lynn on here loves my hat. Thank you, Lynn. I love you.
It is gorgeous.
So you that was Siser glitter, and you sublimated. You just took a piece of sublimation, like paper, put the ink on it, and transferred it over using time, temperature, and pressure.
Right.
To your glitter.
And I'm going to show another example of it right now. So
okay, because Lynn missed it. So
okay, so this is just a piece of white glitter, and this is white, not rainbow. This piece, and I've taken the carrier sheet off, so it did look like this, and I've taken the carrier sheet off of it. This is the carrier sheet, so I took it off. And it becomes this. So I'm going to get that non-stick again. And then I have already printed some designs. And we're going to press it on. So this is going to lay in my heat press on top of my non-stick glitter and then paper on top. So this is what it looks like going into my press. And then I'm going to cover it with a piece of either, like I said, you can use typing paper, you can use craft paper, butcher paper. I said the other day in a class, Bo, this kind of dates me. I used the term typing paper. And they asked me what was typing paper. And I forget, nobody knows what a typewriter is anymore.
Oh, wait, we're going that far back? I was thinking dot matrix paper.
Yeah. No, just, because to me, when I buy a pack, I kind of think of it as typing paper, copy paper. And I just kind of said, oh, you can grab typing paper. And they were like, what? Oh, yeah. Copy paper that you put in your copier. So again, I have that at 400 degrees and I have it for 60 seconds. We're going to pause and I'm going to take a drink here, coffee. And we will see 5, 4, 2, 1. So, and again, that's how you can really kind of see that image right there. This is one of those times where you throw stuff away. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to pull the paper off. And now you can see all those beautiful colors that are subbed on. So what are some other uses that you could do with this? Because I always have other uses that you could do with this because I'm me. So I'm going to change my camera view so that you can see the project that I did and how easy this is. And this is for those of you that are like me and you love to embroider. So this is Mardi Gras. And so you can see, this is the one that just came off the press. It's still kind of warm. So I just used that same image and I had my tack down stitch. So I just laid this down and let it go. And it does my tack down, my placement, and my finishing stitch. I don't have to cut this in between like I would with fabric because the beauty of using it, this satin stitch right here perforates it. And look how easy it is to tear that vinyl away. And I just folded it up to make sure that it didn't get in the way when I went to use my weeder to grab that piece and go. And I have a little piece in the A. Got that taken care of. I've got a little loose jump. Boom, cut that. There. There's several things that I absolutely love. Anybody that knows and has seen me do anything knows that I love doing this technique for a couple reasons. So I'm going to flip this so maybe that shows up a little bit. And I love metallic thread with glitter. So this is King Star, and these are the metallic threads that match perfectly for the project that I was doing. So hopefully you really could see how easy it is to tear that away. What I love about it, if I went to a fabric store, and especially I live in Tennessee, everybody else at Siser is in Detroit, we're not going to find a lot of Mardi Gras fabric. It's just not going to happen. So this is a way to create my own custom fabric, is how I look at it. And it saves me a ton of time and a ton of money because I'm not going to a fabric store. First of all, where I live, it's about an hour to a fabric store. So I have to drive there. I'm not going to buy just one thing. I'm going to buy 10 things that I may or may not need. So this way I get a custom fabric and I don't have to go shopping. And when I dream of stuff up at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's there. So now I have, that perfect Mardi Gras bag with the perfect colors, and it really represents Mardi Gras. It represents the glitter, the glam, the colors of the season. So that was a way that I could make my own fabric, and you saw how easy it was. This was how much I needed. If I went to the fabric store, and some of you probably know better than I do, if you go to the fabric store, some stores now won't even do a 1/4 of a yard, a 7-inch. So you're going to go a half a yard. That's a lot of fabric when I needed this much. That's what I needed. And like I said, a lot of times you really do have this size left over press, and there's, that's a great size of a word to be able to use for embroidery. And it's another way that we can add those products. So you have your glitter, you have your sublimation. If we have those machines, let's use them. So most people would have had glitter and they would have been cutting it on their Romeo and Juliet. And then they have sublimation that they would use for something else. And then they have embroidery. Well, I tend to be extra special, no comments, Bo, about getting to use all three of those together. So that's a way to really marry those things that we own and be able to use them. And just really, we paid for them. It's a way to save money because I'm not having to go buy fabric. So any questions on that technique real quick? Yes, learning how to monogram is easier than learning how to use a cutter sometimes. And I love doing all of the above. And I use my cutter to cut a lot of the things outside the box. I will let it cut fabrics. I will let it cut. But making my own custom fabric is one of my very favorite things to do because nobody else is going to have it. Nobody else is going to have this bag.
So that bag there is going to have like an embroidery feel to it. And then on the inside, it's going to have the glitter feel to it, right?
Right.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. That sounds like it would feel really awesome, like touching it. And
I love multimedia. I love having different textures on items. So we know in the industry right now, things trend like crazy. And so a very popular thing right now is sequins and glitter looking at, projects. So what I did is I just did a search to find this pattern. I put in digital glitter Mardi Gras colors and create a Fabrica. It has all kinds of digital patterns and tons of colors and designs. So
that program you just said comes free right now for 1 year.
It does.
Right?
Way to go, Bo. Thank you so much. It does come free. And so for new users that you have your machine, all you have to do, you can go to Siser. We have the information on Siser NA, but you pay for your subscription and then you submit it and you get reimbursed for that. So easy peasy. And they have a lot of really cool designs. And this was one of them. So this was the exact same technique as I showed you earlier with the rubber duck. I cut the glitter out with my Juliet, and then I printed and cut out the sublimation and just laid it on top of each other. But does that not really look like that's chunky glitter in there? So I love being able to show the different techniques and different kind of textures. And, all it is, some beautiful vinyl that most of us have in our house anyway. And again, it doesn't have to be white. It can be some other colors. So this is a way that I definitely recommend doing print and cut because it makes it so easy to line those up. So
Stephanie, that piece of glitter that you cut earlier for the Mardi Gras on your bag, what was the size of that? That looked on camera, it looked to be about 2 inches.
It was this big because this is the other piece.
All right.
That way that'll kind of show.
You could easily cut that in.
Yes.
Your Juliet or your Romeo or your Juliet.
Yep.
This is a question for me. Do you use the carrier sheet that you take away from the glitter? Do you use that for anything, like cut it for stencils or reuse that in any sort of way?
And sometimes if you ever you've accidentally cut through a carrier sheet because you forgot to do a test cut, I will use a piece of carrier to kind of tape things together to save my project. So I save them to cut and use a stencil. I save to cover up vinyl when I'm pressing, I'll just have a piece, and that way I don't always, if I can't find this, I'll cover it up with an extra cover sheet. So this way you could see, great way to be able to use our vinyl. So I've talked about vinyl quite a bit, and I've showed you some different techniques. Now I'm going to show you one of my other favorite things. And we know that I love to embroider, and I like to sew a little bit, but very limited. But I really, really love in the hoop bags. And Embroidery Garden is a company that I have got to work with them. Love, love, love their designs. And I love being able to make my own bags. Well, if you're going to make your own bag, it's really nice to be able to make your own fabric. So I have cut some, and I'm going to show you a very unique way that you can get two for the price of one, basically. So I have this cut basically so that it shows up. It's about 8.5 by 11 piece of paper size, basically. So this is just a piece of low nap fleece is what that is. And this is just a piece of lace. And most laces that you get are 100% polyester, as is most polar fleece is 100% polyester. So you can see all I have done so far, fleece, lace. This piece is just a full piece, an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I have subbed on. So I'm going to make a sub sandwich just like that. And I am going to put on my heat press a piece of paper and make a little sandwich here. So I'll change view so that you can see me as I go to press it. And hopefully this will be to where you're like, ooh, oh, wow, right? So I've got a little wrinkle. So now I have my little sandwich here, and I'm covering it up. We're going to press 400 degrees, 60 seconds. So while that's pressing, you know, Bo, just for you, because I know that you're not going to eat this, but our local bakery is making little mini king cakes. So I have king cake ready to celebrate today, and fresh from New Orleans. So, you know, there's all different types of king cakes, and everybody that's out there that has them is going to say that their favorite company is the best. I'm going to say that this is my favorite company and that it's the best. The hard thing is what kind of filler, because, you know, some people are going to say Bavarian, which Kelly likes. I like cream cheese or strawberry. But mainly, I just like it because it's sweet. You can't go wrong with it. And it has a baby in it. And you always hope that you don't find it with a tooth.
What is the significance of the baby to you?
Whoever finds the baby hosts the next party.
Okay.
That's our way of doing it.
I heard whoever finds the baby buys the next cake.
Okay. Okay, so you can see here's my sandwich coming off. My first piece of paper. My sublimated piece of paper. And you could press that again. And here is the sandwich that I made, and I'm going to show you under camera so that you can see how amazing this is. If I don't say it's amazing, who will, right?
I think you would say it is. Tam might, and definitely Lizzie will, for sure.
So are you ready, Bo?
I got a 50-50 chance on Melanie.
So now in my fleece, I have a lace and different colors. Kind of, you know, I go from yellows. So this is now one piece of fabric that I can use for my project. And this is another piece. So I'm going to change the background so that it's easier for you to see that lace. So this is the lace. And you can see how you can see through it. And this is the fleece.
What does the backside of the lace look like? Did it go all the way through to the other?
It's a very pale version of it, Bo. Very, very
All right.
pale. So this would be like a pastel, and this would be a primary. But I absolutely think that I invented this technique. I feel like a rock star. And what a great way to be able to make a bag and have those two products together to really showcase, again, the things that we have. I feel like, there's so many little memes going around right now. I'm a crafter. Well, I feel like I'm a crafter. And to have all of this wonderful technology and machines, I need to use them. And what I love to do is to share. And some of you know that I do lives and I teach. And, with Siser, we do so many events. But I love to show different ways that we can use these products because we have our Sawgrass printers, we have our Epson, whatever printer you have. But, are you using it? And, how many heat presses and are you using it? And unfortunately, we do sometimes need 2 or 3 heat presses to get those different sizes. And I am guilty of having a couple, but I have the ones that I kind of turn to that are my favorite. And I have favorite sublimation blanks that I love to do. And Bo laughs because the stuff that I love is not the most popular. But tell them what I love, Bo. What's my favorite products to use?
Stephanie absolutely loves felt. And she loves watch bands and stuff like that. I think, give you a piece of glass when you were here last. Did you ever do anything with that? And it's okay if you didn't. I'm putting you.
I have not, but I do have it here. But it's such a beautiful piece of glass that it really has to have just the right image. And I haven't. It's not been 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm like, yes, that's what I'm going to do with it yet. It's kind of hidden right underneath over here. But I love watch bands. I love making the little rear view mirror felt things and put the different scents on them. I love putting very snarky sayings on them because, I'm me. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like them, because some of the snarky things that
So are you the snarky subber?
Yeah, I am. If she's going to be sassy, I'm going to be snarky. And you put her and I together, and you get some good times.
I really like that polar fleece thing you just did there. You could cut that out into letters and then sew that onto like a hooded sweatshirt or something.
And you could just embroider and use that as your fabric, just like I did in this technique. So that would be embroider. I'd have to use scissors and cut it. But that to me,
those would be fabric scissors, right? That are probably not for anything else. That are guarded.
My scissors my good scissors. They have a little laser tag on them that's pinned to it that says, "So Stephanie says." So if you get scissors that have the tag, you must ask permission before you can use them. And people don't realize. I mean, we spend a lot of money for good scissors, and so we do not want them to be used on paper or aluminum foil or a lot of other things. And then we have 50 pair of these around the house that can be used for anything because we paid $4 for them. But our good scissors, no, we definitely want to be able to save those. So I was able today to show you how to do a print and cut, basically, to line those two up. And I was able to show you that you could have a design bigger than the duck to sublimate, so it doesn't have to be the same size. You saw me sublimate and be able to embroider with it. You saw me sublimate and be able to show glittery words. And then you saw that we were able to do fleece and lace. I mean, and what's really nice is you can really see that pattern. So somebody said they were going, Tam said she was going straight to the fabric store tomorrow. Guess what? There are so many different patterns that you can get of lace And so it's going to look totally different depending on which pattern that you use.
That reminded me my question on that, and I didn't know if it was a dumb question. What is the name of that pattern on that lace there? And there are other patterns of lace, right?
Yes, this one, if I am not mistaken, it was called this one. I'll be honest, it comes from Walmart. It's 97 cents a yard. So I love being able to say where, and this one is called Floral Number 2 is what was written on the bolt. So some of them are called roses, some of them have cute names on them. I typically just look at it to see, do I like the pattern, and if it's going to be small versus if I'm going to use a big piece of it, because that does make a difference. But like I said, I got that at Walmart, and the fleece came from Walmart also. And a lot of times, especially, some people don't know at the fabric anything. If I find a person to be able to cut it, I'll get extra, and they'll give you a deal if you finish the bolt. So a lot of times I will pick at the bolt that I think will be just a little bit more than what I need so that I get a good deal on the end of it. You got to bargain. You have to find those deals. So that way you can create your, great way to be able to use those digital patterns that you may have bought for other reasons. Great way to print your little rubber ducks. So now, Bo, since I have a couple of them, can I say this?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Wait a minute, let me get another one. Because Bo told me earlier, I now can try to get all my ducks in a row.
I think that yes, that works. So Nikki, the sassy subber, earlier this week to summarize things that we learned during the 13 days. And I don't know if you know this or do this, but she said that she saves all of her butcher craft blowout paper, whatever you call it, and she puts it aside, and then she shreds it all. So then when she goes to send stuff out, it's kind of confetti paper. It's all different colors.
Yep.
She's saving materials where she can, which is great because then you can, use that money and try a new product out. Maybe go get, a cup of coffee or something, whatever.
Exactly.
Everything adds up.
I actually bought the little bit glamorous paper cutter that was $4 more that does it into the accordion style. And so I use it for packing for all kinds of things. And I'm just like her. Even if I have little scraps of cardstock left, I will throw that through the feeder. Whoever gets mine, it's very random what material might be in there. So I agree. It's an excellent way to, instead of just throwing everything in the trash, I tend to have a box. And you saw me earlier throwing. It goes to that box, and then I recycle. One of the things that I do, so here's just a piece you can see that it's cut. I tend to cut my paper to the size of the platen that I'm going to be using. Like today, I'm using my craft press 9x12. So when I'm sitting I'll unroll it and cut 9x12, 9x12s, and then I'll cut 15x15s. So that it's very easy when I go to do a project to cover my heat press. And then all of those little pieces that are random left over, I use them to make little sandwiches like this. I'll show you what I mean. So that when I'm going to do like a koozie and I want to cover the bottom and the top, there it is. I have a scrap piece and then I can press it. Because we want to save money so that we can buy more craft supplies.
So you're all prepared in there.
Yeah.
Like it's a hobby, it's a passion, it's a way of life for you.
It's definitely. And my husband often asks, when am I working and when am I not working? Because he sees me using these materials all day and all night. And so I'm like, well, from 8 to 5-ish, I might be at work. But I might be working at 9 o'clock at night because I had an idea. So any of us that are in this industry, Bo, you suddenly get an idea, you're watching Criminal Minds, and you think, oh, wait. And so then you have to stop and you have to go try it right then. So while I'm watching, I love, any murder mystery kind of thing. is my favorite. And so I'll put it on and I'll sit there and make a mindless task of cutting my paper to fit my platen, because I don't like, when you go to tear those big rolls, it gets so jaggedy.
Yeah.
And you waste this much because it's so jaggedy. That's the only, it's not that I am really, really picky about it having a straight edge. I just find, just like aluminum foil, I can't use the little teeth on there to cut it at all. Wax paper, cling paper, whoever invented that was, the devil invented those things, because I can't get it to tear straight at all.
Mm-mm. So
Yes,
Lizzie's saying Dateline.
I agree, Dateline.
I'm saying Psych. I don't know if you
I like Stich. Yeah, I go through right now. I've started back with Forensic Files. And so I watch Forensic Files. And to me, I will say a good hotel always has HLN. And I judge a hotel by what channels that they have. Because we travel,
Yeah.
we go to shows. I want my good television at 10 o'clock at night when I'm ready. I need my HLN.
HGTV.
Yeah.
But I like that how you taught everyone on here about lace, your secret about finding the bolt that has the least amount on it so that you can get the discount.
That's it. I'm always going to pass on a way to earn and save a buck. Always.
Well, thank you.
What's next? What do we have coming up next?
Well, I know that you have coming up the Embroidery Expo over here in Biloxi. Right. We'll see you for that.
I will be in the neighborhood, and since I'm going to be in the neighborhood, maybe we should do a live in person together.
Oh, we definitely could. Yeah.
I'm thinking we should do that. And then I can have you using the cutter instead of it sitting there in front of you looking so handsome.
I used it the other day. I'll let you know.
We'll get you going more, especially because we can do a really big print and cut with that.
Yeah, it gets me because the blade has a thing in it that you got to kind of make sure it goes past that little nub there, and then lock it in.
Yeah. And it's so just look at that as the lip that locks that in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was I gonna say? We got Jackson from Vapor coming in tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central Time. Vapors, he's going to be talking about their summer sports or their spring to summer sport wear, which we're getting into that season now.
It is.
There's a lot of stuff. I just saw on Facebook today that someone was talking about who's interested for a kickball league. So, I mean, us adults were once kids, and
right.
All of the sports when we were kids are now becoming popular. My favorite was line soccer. I don't know if you ever played that.
I did not.
Were you everybody lined up on a side, and then two people went in the middle, and you kicked the ball trying to get it through the goal on the other side?
I like it. For me, soccer wasn't around league-wise when I was in school as much. But then I became very knowledgeable in soccer and then became a coach and then went to, classes to learn more, to ref, because I had boys that played soccer.
Yeah.
I loved indoor soccer was my favorite.
That was pretty cool.
Fast paced and let's get in there, let's play a game and let's go home so that I could craft, right?
So that I can make more indoor soccer jerseys.
That's right. I was that mom. I was definitely that mom that always had that side hustle of a shirt or something for sale or for giveaway. It depended.
Yeah. So we got a lot of great things coming up here. Thank you, Stephanie. Where can they find you? When do you go live for So Stephanie Says?
I am live every Tuesday night at 6:30 Central Time. And so that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's live. I will be joining Green from Embroidery Garden and Amy from Amy Sews. And we're going to talk about the cruise and a little craft. And, I may even show them a trick or two about some sublimation.
I love it. This was fun, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, everybody. Come join us and follow Siser North America support group. And always come join me on So Stephanie Says. because it is so wonderful to see y'all. And Bo, have a good one. Peace out.
Thank you. You too. Yeah, thank you. And give Condi a call, 1-800-826-6332. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.